Next on Worcester News Tonight, a break-in at a popular Worcester restaurant, how the owner helped catch one of the suspects. Plus, the investigation continues into last night's truck stop fire in the city. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Madison. Tonight, one man charged and authorities looking for another after a break-in at a restaurant on Water Street in Worcester. Police say two men smashed the front window at the Perfect Game restaurant around 4 a.m. on Sunday. Surveillance video shows the suspects entered from a side door and took cash from the register. The owner tells us surveillance video from another restaurant helped catch one of the suspects shortly after the break-in. He is hoping these photos will help find the other suspect.
For our entertainment district as a whole to have to deal with it, people want to go somewhere where it's safe. Thank God it happened at 4:30 in the morning and not 4:30 in the afternoon.
46-year-old Wilfredo Ortiz has been charged with breaking and entering, trespassing, and malicious destruction of property. The restaurant has been closed since the incident. It will open tomorrow. Crews busy spraying in several towns tonight to protect from West Nile virus. The Central Massachusetts Mosquito Project was in Millbury, Shrewsbury, and Auburn tonight. Three towns recently raised their West Nile threat level from low to moderate. Several mosquitoes in Worcester tested positive for West Nile virus earlier this month. No human cases have been reported in the state. A 3-alarm fire at a truck dealership in the city is under investigation. Worcester firefighters say no one was in Darios Diesel when the fire started around 8 p.m. last night. A portion of Route 20 was closed for several hours while crews worked to knock down the flames. Our Olivia Lemon was at Darios earlier today and has a look at the investigation.
Employees are still delivering parts to customers, but it was far from business as usual at Darios Diesel in Worcester. A 3-alarm fire Monday night destroyed the office and parts section of the truck dealership.
Just waiting for the word from up above to see where we go from here.
Investigators from the state fire marshal's office were on scene Tuesday morning trying to determine a cause of the fire.
We know that the fire started in the area of the parts and office area. Exactly where in there, we don't know yet.
Darios sells and repairs large trucks. Worcester Deputy Fire Chief John Sullivan says the combustible materials inside made it difficult to fight the fire.
As a result, the roof caved in, which caused us to have some pockets of fire underneath the roofing materials, which required us to get an excavator in and start to tear the walls down so we could get the water underneath.
They cut the doors open and everything and seemed under control, and then all of a sudden, just engulfed to the left.
Chief Sullivan says the heat also made it hard for firefighters. He says a few were treated for heat exhaustion, but there were no major injuries. People who witnessed the fire say it spread quickly.
I'm telling you, man, these flames were hot. You can feel it in your throat, and it's no joke. These are big diesel trucks in here burning, man. It's no joke.
Darios has been owned by the same family since 1959. For now, they plan on helping their customers the best they can. Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
A Worcester man has been arrested and charged in a violent road rage attack on another driver in the city. Police say it happened Sunday night on Lincoln Street. Police arrested Hummel St. Charles. Hummel St. Charles was arrested at the Worcester courthouse on Tuesday. He was there on an unrelated matter. The victim is expected to recover from his injuries. Police described the attack as an act of rage. Some tense moments on 290 this morning when a driver hit a moose that wandered onto the interstate. Authorities say it happened near the Auburn exit. The car had plenty of damage on the front of the vehicle, but the driver wasn't injured. The moose was captured and eventually had to be euthanized. Firefighters were called out to the scene and said the incident is very rare for the city.
I think the driver's definitely fortunate. I can't remember a time when we've had a moose accident up on 290.
No word if the incident is related to the moose sighting reported in Webster over the weekend. Researchers at UMass Medical School have found a positive purpose for Salmonella. Turns out the bacteria can actually help cancer patients. Scientists found a protein in Salmonella can zero in on specific cancer cells and help shrink tumors. Salmonella could also be helpful in reducing the side effects of chemotherapy.
So what we're hoping with this discovery is just basically giving patients that are undergoing chemotherapy a better chance of survival and reduce the risk of resistance to the treatments. And
scientists will now work on finding a way to safely test the process on humans. UMass researchers have also made a potential breakthrough in ALS research thanks to the money raised by the Ice Bucket Challenge. Dr. John Landers is a leading genome researcher at UMass Medical School. The research is funded by the Ice Bucket Challenge, and he says he and a team of international scientists have made a significant discovery.
Gene that increases your risk of ALS. Every gene has its own function or role in the cell or in the body. And as we identify more and more ALS genes, what it does is it actually tells us what is going wrong in ALS patients.
Landers says the project would not have been possible without the money raised during the Ice Bucket Challenge in 2014. New statistics from the state of Massachusetts show just how many rifles were sold in the hours after Attorney General Maura Healey's action last week. The AG's ban on so-called copycat assault-style rifles sent gun owners to shops across the state. Our Brittany Schaefer has a look at the impact.
Pullman Arms in Worcester has restocked their shelves, but you won't find any copycat assault rifles. Last week, Attorney General Maura Healey announced her office's increasing enforcement of the Massachusetts assault weapons ban. This led to a rush of customers in gun stores like Alicia Merritt's.
It was completely chaotic, and everybody pretty much sold out of everything. So sales since then have been much higher than normal this time of year.
The announcement led to a 1,900% increase in rifle sales on Wednesday. According to the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security, 132 rifles were sold Tuesday and 2,549 rifles were sold Wednesday.
What people are saying is that they are worried about what kind of action she's going to take next on their rights.
Many in the area have differing opinions on the announcement.
She went and did something completely against our rights, our freedom.
I mean, I know we need the weapons to defend our countries and our homes and stuff, but that's just too much. That's too much weapon, and they're too easy to get.
What gives them the right to dictate my laws? You know what I mean? I just don't understand that.
This business of restricting certain firearms, I don't mind seeing the assault rifle disappear.
Darren Monks is a gun owner and says he uses them for protection. Monks says he doesn't think the stricter law will help with the recent violence.
The violence that's going around now, they seem to think that less guns are better, but it's the people that shouldn't have the guns that have the guns, so the average person can't even protect themselves.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
An update to a story we brought you yesterday about a brush fire in Sturbridge. It is now completely out after crews spent 2 days on scene. The fire was located about a mile into the woods off of Fisk Hill Road. Sturbridge Fire Lieutenant John Marinelli says about 50 firefighters from surrounding towns were deployed to fight the fire. He says about 1.5 acres of land were burned. The fire department says the heat and dry conditions made it difficult for crews.
We rotated groups in. That's why we had to get a lot more crews in there to keep crews moving in and out so they wouldn't overheat and get it overexerted from the heat.
Marinelli says along with water, foam was used to seep into the soil to prevent the fire from rekindling.